Hey guys, in today's video, we are talking about second shooting. How do you get these second shooting jobs and how do you make the most of them so that you can go on to book your own brides? So before we dive in, I just want to quickly announce we've actually launched our Facebook group community. It's called Photo Boss, and you can enroll now in the link below. So if you haven't hopped in the group, be sure to do that because it's going to be amazing and we're going to be doing a lot of live streaming content, including some giveaways in the coming days. When I was first starting out, I was right in your shoes. I didn't have a lot of portfolio or experience, or at least not enough to fully launch my business on my own. So I ended up wanting to second shoot for other photographers. And then I was left wondering, how do I get someone to let me shoot for them? How do I get them to trust me? How do I get them to take that risk on me? So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. Essentially, there are two ways that you can get in touch with a photographer and start shooting for them potentially, or at least reach out to them. Now, the first way is directly to them. So maybe it's a Google search, maybe you've gone on Instagram and you found some hashtags for local photographers in your area and you found someone whose work you admire, then you went to their website and you contacted them directly. Or you can go through a group method and try to get through Rising Tide Society, Facebook groups, or the like, and then find someone. So either way, you're going to be reaching out to someone for the first time. And this is where I want to stress the importance of that first impression. So I want to make sure that you realize that that first email that you send someone is crucial. So you want to make sure that you include a personalized introduction. You've made it clear that you've checked out their work and their website, that you're willing to work maybe even as an assistant or unpaid depending on your skill level, and you include a link to your portfolio. So if you include all of these things in that initial email, I think that you're going to be much more likely to get a response or even a gig out of this inquiry. So as far as photography groups, Facebook groups where you might find these referrals, I'm going to link you guys a bunch below. There are photography organizations that have local chapters that have Facebook groups where they may put out a referral and say, hey, someone might post on the group and say that they need a second shooter. That is a great opportunity for you to jump on. So if you don't know specific photographers or you haven't had luck getting responses from specific photographers, the other option that you have is to use a Facebook group method where you wait for somebody to say that they need a second shooter. Ultimately, you're going to need to reach out to many photographers. It could happen quickly for you or it could take a few months, but you have to hustle and keep after it because eventually someone's going to say yes. When they do, I want to give you a few tips so that you can get the most out of your second shooting experience and so that it grows your portfolio and your business and doesn't burn any bridges. So the first thing I want to express to you guys this is huge. Before you shoot for anyone, before you go and work and take pictures or hold a bag or do anything, I want you to make sure that you understand your ability to use the images. Whether or not you can use them on social media or in your portfolio, have this clearly stated between you and this other photographer in writing before you do anything. That way you know maybe you can use it on your website, but not on Instagram. Or maybe this photographer will let you use it everywhere. But it is really important that you know up front so that you don't end up breaching this agreement and potentially having a big problem between you and the main shooter. Now that you're on the same page with that photographer, I have a couple of tips for making them completely fall in love with you and want you to keep shooting for them. The first tip is don't hang out over their shoulder the whole day. Make sure you're getting complimentary angles around them and getting something different than the main photographer. So I know in my personal experience that I love when my second shooter is using a completely different focal length than I am. This allows me to have pictures that look completely different to choose from, because if it's going to be between my picture and the second photographer's picture and they look really similar, I'm probably going to choose my own. So make sure that your images are different enough than the main photographer. Another tip is to come professionally dressed, be a little bit early, and check your ego completely at the door. Be willing to serve the family, the bridal party, and especially the main photographer in any possible way. Nothing is beneath you. Offer them water, offer to go to their car for something, and just be of so much service to them that they can't imagine doing the day without you. We've talked about some things that you should do. I do want to mention one thing you should not do. I want to caution you not to promote your own personal business or the business you are trying to grow while you are working for another photographer. That day, you represent their company. So don't be tempted to hand out your business card to get ahead, potentially burning the bridge with that main shooter. I hope that these tips were helpful to you. If you're looking for more education, there is a free guide down below. It's 6 ways to find and book wedding photography clients in your first year of business. You can go ahead and grab that resource. I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.